So, which background shall we take today? You know this Elgato camera hub. I repaired it, reinstalled it, repaired it, then it works for a bit, then doesn't work anymore. So the camera is alright, but the software is just pretty useless. Well, let's take this background for now and let's start with the video.
Sunday Afternoon Modular.
Hello and welcome to the Sunday Afternoon Modular. This is probably the last video this year, so I want to take the time here to thank all the viewers who watched, commented, liked and shared my videos. This channel would be nothing without you guys. A special thanks goes out to all subscribers. Thank you for supporting small channels. Last but not least, also a thank you to all manufacturers for creating great modules. In this video, we will have a look at the Alisa or Alisa VCO from Tre Modular. Tre Modular is a company based in Latvia. Latvia is the middle one of the three Baltic states between Estonia and Lithuania. Now, after this geography lesson, let's continue with some history. Their analog Alisa VCO is based on the Alisa 1377 Soviet synthesizer. The synth was built in 1985 and shortly after replaced by its successor, the Alisa 1378. Hence, the original Alisa 1377 are rather rare. You can find one now and then, but most of them are not fully functional anymore. This is why I think it's cool that Tre Modular offers such a VCO. An outstanding feature of the Alisa 1377 was its built-in wave shaper. Years ago I made a video about the Alisa wave shaper module from SSSR Labs. You can check it out in the video description. Now, the cool thing about this VCO here is that it actually has a built-in wave shaper, so you don't need an extra wave shaper. But let's have a look at the whole module. On top there is a big knob to set the frequency. Left and right you have two tiny screws for tune and tracking. And this is actually a very cool idea, because now you don't have to remove the whole module if you need to tune it. Except for the high frequency tracking, which is still on the back of the module. Then we have four knobs which control the pulse width, the shape of the wave shaper, the frequency modulation level and the pulse width modulation level. Additional to that, you have CV inputs for frequency modulation, pulse width modulation and the wave shaper. Of course, there is a 1 volt per octave, or as some say, pitch input. If you want to know why the pitch input often is called 1 volt per octave, then check out my video I made about it. It is linked in the video description. Then we have outputs for triangle, ramp and pulse waveforms. Wait, is that not triangle, sawtooth and square wave, you might ask? Indeed, those terms can be a bit confusing sometimes. We all know sine and triangle waveforms. Sawtooth waveforms ramp upward and then sharply drop. So sawtooth and ramp waveform refers to the same. If we take it very precise, a single sawtooth or an intermittently triggered sawtooth is called a ramp waveform. There are also reversed sawtooth waves. Now for the pulse, for it to be a true square wave, it would need a 50% duty cycle, so equal high and low periods. As we can shift the pulse width with this module, we would rather talk about pulse here. But honestly, I believe it is not that important as long as we all know what we are talking about. I often refer to it as a square wave, even if it actually would be a pulse waveform. But I know there are some people on YouTube searching for every little mistake in a video, probably because they don't have a hobby, which is sad. They should get a modular synth and start doing something productive. But I am drifting away from our actual topic here. So as said, there is an output for triangle, ramp and pulse waveforms, and a fourth output for the wave-shaped signal. And the cool thing, you can use all outputs simultaneously. This also means you can self-patch this module. You can also patch the outputs to a mixer module to mix all the different waveforms together. Or you patch all the outs to a scanning module like the trace from DivKit and Vostok instruments. And another interesting fact, because some waveforms are naturally louder to our ear than others, Tre Modular decided that the outputs for each waveform are different in voltage levels, so they all sound more or less equally loud. And for the pulse width control, you have a jumper on the back of the module. With the jumper, the duty cycle ranges from 10 to 90%. If you remove the jumper, it ranges from 10 to 50%. And with a 50% duty cycle, it would be a square wave. So you see, there is a lot of love for details in this module. And I like that. What more? Well, the built-in wave shaper uses a triangle wave as an input waveform. The frequency modulation uses exponential characteristics. And because we have an analog VCO here, they also thought about temperature compensation. Why is this needed, you might ask? Actually, to keep the tuning. The components heat up during use, and the room temperature also has an impact. You want to have a stable temperature during operation, so that your C is a C and not a C and a quarter down the toilet. Without temperature compensation, your oscillator can easily get out of tune. And even if it's only a little, we usually don't want that. For the more technical people among us, it uses a transistor pair on a chip and a temp co-resistor that are thermally coupled. Also nice to know, chips like the CEM3340, very famously used in a lot of VCOs, have a built-in temperature compensation. Alright, I hope this was not too technical, but I always find all those details, may they be technical or not, very interesting. Now I am pretty sure you want to hear how the Alisa VCO sounds. Here we go, and see you back after the sound demo. SundayAfternoonModular is in the house. SundayAfternoonModular is in the house. That was it for the Alisa VCO from Tre Modular, a fully analog VCO with some really nice features such as the built-in wave shaper. I think there are a lot of nice things you can do with it. What do you think? And what is your favorite VCO module? Let me know in the comments. As always, if you enjoy my videos, leave a like, a comment and hit that subscribe button. And again, thank you for watching and supporting my videos. See you back in the new year here on the